All right, guys, welcome back to the channel, and thanks for dropping by. Guys, I got a little excited and didn't even hit record, and I spotted this black here on the left pauldron that we drew in the last session, and then I was like, oh crap, we gotta record this stuff. So here we are. I'm recording now. I can't really make up my mind what I want to do in this moment. I kind of want to start with the head, but this fist, gripping the weapon that he has looks pretty tempting right now to me. I really feel like drawing. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna tackle this. I think I'm gonna tackle this fist. I think that's what we're gonna do. Let's get into it. I don't know. I don't feel hyper technical right now. It's been a long day. We're doing all these tests and stuff at school, and I'm just kind of like, ugh. I've graded a lot of papers today, something like 50 or 60 papers. That's not that many, but I guess. But for me, my eyes, I'm just like, ugh, I'm tired. Um, but I still have some energy to do some creating. So let's just jump right into it. Uh, gonna create another vector layer to get started in and grab the good old pencil tool. Looks like when after I was playing around with the scaling yesterday, it got bumped back up. I remember my base size was 5.6, which is I guess around a point, and that was good enough for me. I'll set the pressure and set the color of the stroke, and we'll go to town on this fist area over here and just start jamming. Um, man, you know what I have seen lately that I've really wanted to talk about that I guess I can sort of chat you guys up about while I'm inking this guy in. Um, have you guys seen it's just now started to hit my YouTube feed and I don't really know how I feel about it. Um, but there's this wave. I watch a lot of 80s and 90s horror movies, and I love the channels that really get into that and do like reviews and breakdowns of those things. And I guess the algorithm knows this. And I've also been watching a lot of reports on the recent development of, what's going on with the AI stuff. The AI stuff is really troubling. Ooh. Now here's a situation where it's like, of course, I want to get in there really quick and edit that rather than draw it again because I was doing really good. I just ran out of space. Cool. And yeah. So yeah, like I am not on board with the AI stuff at all. I'm really nervous about it. I feel like we're heading towards some sort of weird social singularity where nothing matters, and I feel like without a purpose, people are the most dangerous they could ever be, like people without purpose are I don't know, it's a dangerous thing. I don't even want to talk about it. It's almost dark to think about, like what happens when you take away someone's ambitions and their purpose, and then that's how people end up in the worst situations, in their lives. And so this AI stuff really bothers me because I feel like it's dangerous. I can kind of identify. I watched that old Elon Musk interview where he was on Joe Rogan, and they were talking about AI, and they were getting really glassy eyed about it, and I couldn't understand why it was such a an intense topic at first, because I thought I didn't take it so seriously. I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, AI is never going to replace us." But then, I started seeing, the results that were coming back, and all the new developments that have been happening, and I even tested out a few of the I went on I played around with Mid Journey. I looked around at some other generators, some simpler ones, and it was disturbing. And lately, there have been a sort of wave of these. fake movies that were never made, but they're made to sort of resemble movies from the past, like specifically like 80s action flicks, that are like, you know, or like famous movies from the 80s, but they're being remade with AI and special instructions, like the way that someone else would have made them. And it is the creepiest thing, because the artwork that these things churn back is it's pretty breathtaking. It's some of it, the photorealism of it. It looks like real movie stills from movies that I've never seen before, but know the story to. So the other day there was one that was like it was a cross between, like, I don't even know. It was called like, oh, I can't remember what it was called. It was like Chrome something. Guys, this freaked me out. Like, it was so awesome. The artwork and the ideas and all of it. Yeah, I knew it was generated by AI, but mm, it was just so stunning. And it freaked me out, you know. And I started thinking like, what's going to happen when this stuff falls into the wrong hands, and what's going to happen if they don't regulate this? You know what I mean? Like, it really scared the crap out of me. I don't know. Like, I'm not even a great artist. I don't know that I'll ever reach like that sort of level within my lifetime. And I'm not really worried about it. As I talked a little bit about yesterday, like for me, it's a different sort of situation now. It's more about like the act of doing it. It doesn't really matter what happens from doing it anymore. You know what I mean? But yeah, if the AI thing becomes an issue, I would recommend that you get involved as an artist and really make sure your voice is there, because I don't think the people that are creating this stuff, they're not really, you've got to understand that these things are not being created necessarily by artists. Uh, it seems as though they're being created by scientists. And yeah, um, somehow, actually, I'm going to put a little overlap here so it's like, you can feel it like sort of coming out of his thumb. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to end up in a Logan's Run style situation. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want people to end up like that. I don't know. Somebody in one of the interviews was talking, and they were saying like, "Oh yeah, why are they creating AI?" And the guys were like, "Oh, well, it's because we're trying to they're trying to create utopia." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" Like, I don't know, man. It. Oh no, it's not what I want to do. I'm gonna just experiment with the way I did yesterday. Yeah, isn't that bizarre? When you it adds a really nice sort of feeling to the lines when you do it that way. It's almost as if that's the way I meant to draw it. And then, I can go back in here, and if things look a little stiff, like this looks a little bit too angular, I can just bend it up a little bit. No problem. Looks pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, this one looks a little bit wild. We're gonna have to tame that a little bit. And this is just, it's fun. I like it, but we were gonna have to tame it. It's like, it's a little, I don't know what that is, but I like it. Let's see. Guys, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm a big fan of this thing. It really freaked me out on opening day. I was like sitting here screwing with it like all afternoon or all evening on the release day. When I was getting ready to make that video, like, yeah, it was awesome. Okay, cool. Group this up. Good to go. Get back inside my layer. Now I'll hit up some of these details a little bit. Okay. Actually, I might go a little bit smaller now. Maybe 4. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, I hope I didn't freak you guys out talking about the AI stuff. I just that really freaked me out. I can't remember what that was called. Oh my gosh. It was like it was a mix between Terminator and RoboCop, and it had elements of like Dune and like the robots and the cyborgs and stuff that were there. It was like crazy 80s, nostalgia. Like it looked like it was shot like on, a certain type of camera from the 80s, and it was just like the 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 sets, it looked like they were film stills. I mean, it was uncanny, man. It was just really bizarre. And yeah, it freaked me out pretty bad. I'm gonna sort of ignore those for a little while because I don't quite know what to do with them. All right, cool. I'm liking the way that turned out. That's good stuff. All right, this thing looks fun. Let's we got a little bit of time left. I'm gonna hang around for another 10 minutes. Let me get this blade in in good shape. All in all, this will be interesting for me too, because I'll actually get to see, what it's really like to sit and talk and try to get something done. We'll see. I can try to calculate exactly the amount of time that I spent on it near the end of the series. Whatever. Oop, I need to add a new vector layer. We're gonna label this one, right? We'll call this left fist. All right, cool. Another cool and something to know, if you ever get frustrated and you're like clicking on something with the node tool and nothing's happening, it's because the layer that you're clicking into, the object is locked. And so it's protecting you against, messing with it, right? So then if I unlock this, now I can get in here and, you know, get a hold of some of this stuff easily. But while it's locked, you can't. So that's good to know, right? You can still accidentally, draw on pixel layers and things like that. I think they're working on that though. I'm really interested in this concept of, Clip Studio Paint has a lot of enviable features. Like I really like their the drafts layers that you can create, where it's like, you don't have to worry about it as actually being a part of the layer stack. It's untouchable. You can just draw on it as if it were on a light box. Like that's pretty cool. Um, you know, I have faith in my Affinity guys. I think they're gonna come up with some. They're gonna really wow us in the next couple of years. I'm sure of it. With all kinds of cool stuff. All right, let's go back to the 5.6. Okay. Oh, I know the name. Okay, here's what you want to search if you want to get creeped out, but also very just like inspired, but also very. I don't know. It created like a. I don't know, guys. The thing is called Chrome Lords. Just search Chrome Lords 1988. The greatest, like that's all you got to search. Chrome Lords 1988. It's on YouTube if you haven't seen it already. I mean, it's pretty wild, dude. And you never think you're going to be part of that generation, right? Like, I remember watching Back to the Future uh, with my grandparents on, like, when it was on like TV. And, you know, I'm like, do you think that we'll ever see flying cars? And I was just kind of half joking as a kid, I'm like, there's no way, cars are too heavy to fly, like cars, they can't do that. Like, and my mom and my grandma, they're sitting around, and like, well, maybe, you never know. Things change so fast. And I'm like, what? No way, like, I don't know. I just couldn't see it happening. Not in the world that we lived in, where we're driving around in pickup trucks and things like that. And here we are. We got people riding around on jetpacks now. We got the self lacing shoe thing has been done. That's done and dusted. Um, it's expensive. It's not like you can just go into Nike and buy it, right? But it's there. And then I saw remember the Airwalk hoverboard or the Lexus hoverboard thing that they tried. I mean, that freaked me out a little bit. That was pretty cool. We're getting there. I don't know if I want to see uh, flying cars exactly, but yeah. No, I don't know about that. I feel like I have sort of, I feel like, oh, I know what I'll do. Yeah. Just to make sure that I'm maintaining some, just to make sure that I'm maintaining some semblance of continuity here. Well, that didn't work out so well. Hold on. What? I see. Yeah. So we gotta go in here, select all this stuff, make sure the nodes, you gotta make sure the nodes are showing, okay? I talk about nodes with sort of an innuendo on purpose. Like, to me, it's so funny. And sometimes, you gotta grab them by the nodes, you know? You're like, come on, Rob, that's ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, that's more of what I was looking at creating. Okay, cool. See, you can do cool stuff. Like, check this out. You can get in here like this, but the problem is, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. The problem is it doesn't include pressure, but you can get in and draw stuff really quickly. It's crazy how quick that is, right? But the drawback is because you can't include pressure in that information, you've got to go back through all those strokes, and then you don't get that naturalistic look. It's useful, but you're gonna have to do some editing if you want to do it that way. That's why I don't really do it that way too much. The thing that I know that I need to work on, something that is like, it's kind of lingering in the back of my mind, is backgrounds. I know I got to get in and start learning how to draw backgrounds. I know that's super important. And I have been working on perspective in earnest, but yeah, I haven't had the guts to really try to create my own, cityscape or background, and that kind of stuff takes a lot of work. You got to figure out where to put it, um, you know, where it's needed. And I have in my mind, I've been like, well, I'll call, I'll try that once I have my story set and the way I want it. I'm writing a story. I really took a lot of heart and stock in some stuff that people said. I watch a lot of this YouTube channel called Cartoonist Kayfabe. I love those guys. They are my favorite YouTube channel, probably. Like in my top 5. Um, they are always talking about something cool. They're always showing off artwork from really amazing and talented artists, and they are both amazing and talented artists. And they've always got something, useful to say. And yeah, they talk a lot about what it takes to be a comic artist, and they know, from experience, and they know a lot of people, and they've been around the block a few times. And it sort of hit me, I was listening to them, and then I guess all signs for me lately are pointing to this sort of Nike philosophy where it's like just do it, because the whole thing is you can practice and practice and practice and practice, but time is fleeting. If you've got a project that you want to do, you'd better just do it. You'd better try to do the thing rather than practicing to do the thing. Just try to do the thing. I think there's this attitude with people lately, and even back in college, one of my professors said it so succinctly. He was like, people are afraid to fail, and so they never try anything. They always prepare for something or avoid it, or find ways to sort of mitigate the risk because they're so afraid to fail that our egos have become really fragile, especially in this social media, like embattled world where everybody's trying. It happened to me. I don't know if it shows, but part of the reason I wasn't uploading like hyper regularly is because the YouTube situation sort of did a number on my psyche. I was getting to the point where I was having like anxiety, where it was like I was kind of like, oh no, I've got to make a video, because I don't like doing things. I certainly don't like doing things. How would you say that? Like, I don't want to make a video just to make a video. You know what I mean? I wanted my whole idea with okay, so in all truth, making a YouTube channel wasn't even my idea. My wife just kept pushing me to do it. And she was saying, you should really do it. I think it'd be good for you. And she was right, because I really do enjoy it. I love it. But, it does carry with it some sort of a challenge. It was a challenge for me, because, I know what I can do with this guy. Cusp these up. And this, my ink work is awful tonight. I think I'm just so tired. I'm really heavy-handed tonight. I don't know if you can tell, but like I can see that, this stuff is much lighter than this stuff. So I'm gonna have to go back and maybe edit that later. But that's the great thing about working in vector. You don't have to be perfect, and sometimes I really enjoy the fact that it doesn't come out perfect. These days, you can sort of understand yourself, like what you're doing and how you work and what your habits are if you're observant enough. It's challenging for me to sit here and sort of talk and do this at the same time too, but I'm trying it. I'm trying. This whole series is sort of predicated on that idea where it was just like I'm tired of preparing things so much. I want to just do it, you know. Um, and I want people to understand that if someone came by the channel and they asked me, they're like, "Hey man, why did you call your channel Foster Your Affinity? Why didn't you just leave it as your name?" And I thought, like, I told them, the sort of reason, like the sort of the idea behind it and the story. Actually, when the channel was my name, Foster Your Affinity was like the channel slogan that I sort of had up on a banner on my channel. But I thought, like, people might not even really see it if they don't just drop by my home channel page. They might just like look at my video and go their own way. But I did want people to understand that I really want to make, at the time, Affinity like is sort of responsible, right, for me like waking up a little bit. So I wanted to make sure that people understand how much I love this software, right? It's a balancing act, but at some point, I want to make sure that people can, understand that that's not all I'm going to do on my channel. Yeah. But as far as I can into the future, and as far as Affinity keeps churning out the genius, I will keep using Affinity's stuff and trying to learn to master it and make the most out of it and have it help me achieve my personal goals. Whatever they become or however they begin to manifest. I have a few that are really important to me that I'm working on in earnest, and I'll share those with you guys in time. But I don't know if any of these rants that I go on have a point at all. I think tonight's one is just do it. Don't get paralyzed by the possibilities, both positive and negative. Okay, 26 minutes. What do you say? Oh, okay. I'm going to end this in 4 minutes, but what I want to do is I want to come in here. I'm going to add some of these. Yeah, cool. What do you say we call it a day at 30 minutes? Hopefully my rants and ravings didn't, didn't turn you guys away. Let's see here. Go to the node tool. We're going to do our, oops. Remember, if you want to use the node tool to select nodes, first you got to have nodes visible, and then you can grab them by the nodes. Okay, cool. Bang. Yeah, right? I feel like it really sharpens things up a bit, and man, I like that a lot. Except for here in areas where you don't want that to happen. Maybe that's not the best idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back, undo that, and then what I'm going to do is use this tool again to, oops. Let's see here. Okay. How are we going to do this? Yeah, we're going to use this tool and we're going to select the nodes except for those. Oops, sorry. Oh man, this is fun. I'm not going to get it perfect, but I think I can get in here. And then we'll get in here. And we'll just do those for right now. And then I'll do the ones on the outer edge that I missed. Like this. Cool. And then I've still got my circle shapes there, which, geez Louise, I'm following the drawing there, but man, my drawing was pretty off. I've got to deal with that. Let's just leave that in place for now. I'm not going to bore you guys with the node nudging. I might do that off camera. I don't know if you guys want to see it, I'll do it on camera, but it's not going to be anything special, and I think it'll take a lot of time. But I think I got a pretty good start on that one. It looks good. Things look good here. What's going on with this? What's going on with this? Okay, I see. That was another thing I probably shouldn't have straightened so much. I can just bend it like this. Cool. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, those guys look sleek. Nice. Get out of here. Okay, nice. All right, guys. And what I'll do is I'll group that stuff up. Let's see here. One. Cool. group that up just in case I want to go back in and draw a few other things. And we'll call that the blade. Lock it up. And I like to tag the stuff that I don't want to mess with at the moment red, just to keep it sort of quarantined. And that way I don't really touch it while I'm working. But yeah, I think it's been 30 minutes, guys. I think we're gonna call it an evening. I hope you enjoyed listening to me rant and rave, and yeah, maybe you guys can, prepare a little cartooning, cartoon drawing of your own, and just hang out with me and ink your stuff up at the same time. Eventually, I think I'm gonna work up to doing live streams and things like that. But see, we're moving into a new house in the summertime, so I'm sort of waiting to set up my dream YouTube studio until that time. So I've kind of got to, I'm sort of building up to that and trying to get ready mentally for it. So for when we get in there, and that way I can, learn how to do it and get set up for live streams and have a decent looking little studio area for you guys to look at. Because right now things are a mess. So I'm sort of keeping all that off camera. Anyhow, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this session. Some of you guys mentioned that you didn't mind longer sessions, so I guess I don't feel so bad that I let it run over 30 minutes. Guys, as always, remember to keep working hard, stay positive, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in the next one, okay? Cheers.